Hey, everyone. Welcome to the impromptu I Can't Sleep version of the Chill Zone. So, we're just here to chill and talk. So, if you want to just hang out? We're here to do that type of thing. Hope everybody's doing all right. Hey, Wolfie, welcome to the chat, buddy. We're just here chilling out. Hey, Wolfie, welcome to the chat, buddy. We're just here chilling out. I'm just here chilling out, doing whatever. I'm not even at my regular. Not even at my desk. I'm just kind of chilling. What are you up to? Hippie. A little bit before my time, dude. A little before my time. What are you up to? Anything good? Anything bad? So we're just here. Oh. Do tell. Please. Share the information here. Cool. Alrighty. Well, that's cool. But let me give you just a fair bit of warning. Just remember, he's in it for himself. Some other people are. So please be wary. I'm not saying anything ill about anybody. I'm just saying it's human nature. It's just kind of how things happen. Just be careful. Hopefully the audio is coming through okay. I'm using my laptop. It's not the greatest in the world. Well, that's pretty good, dude. I got it. That's really good. By the way, I sent you a few clips if you want them. I got a couple more I can send. Yeah. As you can see, oh, oh, fair enough. Hey, you always got to try, and if they're willing to do it, willing to do it, and it's on the up and up, good. I never tell anybody not to take a chance. As you can see, this is my Restream. I'm just going directly through Restream right now. I'm not using my... Oh. Did Zach send you anything? Zach got shit tons, I betcha. He's an RNG. He beats the RNG odds all the time. Just ask him. I'm pretty sure he'll send them. Pretty sure. But hey. You like my festive lights? Oh, yeah. He's always online. Always online. I wonder. Let's see. Oh, that's a little better. There we go. Yeah, I'm on Aaron's Discord. Why? Oh, I've been on Aaron's Discord for a while. I'm in Peaks too. Cool. Talk about anything good? Turn that off. You look at the use on weightlifting. I lift weight every day. I pick my fat ass, start walking. Alright. Not feeling too hot. As you saw earlier in my earlier live stream, I was, my COVID live stream. Yeah, I got COVID. Again. For the second time. So, yeah, no. Well, thank you. It is what it is. It is what it is. At least I'm not dying. At least not yet. Yeah. Just living with it. It's totally possible. We'll see what happens. I actually have to make a couple of phone calls tomorrow because my son's going to be home. He's not in school because on vacation. And I got to cancel a physical therapy appointment tomorrow because I can't go because I have COVID. And I got to go speak with my mother because she thinks I was going to be coming over tomorrow with my son. And I have to disappoint her and say I can't come over because I have COVID. And after that, we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure my son will drive me cuckoo and everything else. But I'm always up for that. Always do that. He's about better than about 40 to 50% of the players that are out there in Potato Land. So, you know. I don't care. It doesn't matter what DD I get me, probably do that. I gotta see if I can do a little work on trying to get the connection on my capture card over there. Honestly, I think my first Kraken was in the Warspite. To be honest. I gotta ask you, do you hear any music coming through? I'm just kind of wondering because I've never used this platform directly. I've used it as a secondary platform. Yeah, they're built to run in and run out. They're not really built for a real fight. Okay. Is the music too loud or? They can eliminate it if it's a problem. Oh, cool. I've never used this directly. I've always gone through OBS. I gotta unconnect it and reconnect my capture card and see if that may help a little bit. Maybe use another USB cord or something. I don't know. Because I really don't want to get another capture card. This? That's funny because it allows me. I'm obviously the free version of this allows you to go to Twitch and YouTube, unless you're doing it from a mobile device. You have to do it directly from a. I believe you got to do it from a laptop or a desktop. Something. What is weird? What do you use for? What do you use? Do you use an iPhone or Google or something Google? Yeah, what type of phone? Okay, you're Android. Okay. Hey, Imperial, how are you? What's going on, bud? Wolfie's always welcome here in the Chill Zone. Oh. He's hanging and chilling. Nothing wrong with hanging and chilling, right? All about it. How you doing tonight, Imperial? Doing good? Awesome. Didn't expect to have so many. I didn't expect to have people up here this early in the morning. Oh, that's just bullying. Dev strike a tier 3 cruiser. That's borderline abuse, dude. I love abusing low tier cruisers. Ooh. I abused the Nuremberg today. Or was it I think it was yesterday? Yesterday with a West Virginia. Also wrecked a Ryujo. It was annoying me, so I had to kill it. It's always nice when you get touching shells. Always nice. But when they start doing floaty things and going off in other directions, it kind of turns into a problem. What did I do? Yeah. Let's take a look. Nope, I think that was with a War's fight. Fucking in Nuremberg. I'm checking now. Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, there he goes. It's kind of tough to see on here, but no, I found out that my War's fight loves taking out Nurembergs. Must be a British thing. Well, yeah, you're not going to win that. You got an Allen Court in Omaha. You know, you've got basically a whole bunch of fire starters. And you get another ship that can actually smack the face out of you. Oh yeah, but I don't need sexy. I just need that fat old girl out there just punching people in the mouth. That's all I want her to do. I don't ask a lot. Never ask a lot. So, hey, she does her job. That's all that matters. She does her job. Oh, the Allen Court, he's a little bit of a glass slipper. He's tough to a point. He can burn you down and then get within that 7-kilometer range of her secondaries. He can really do a job on you. But she's got no AP. Her AP is garbage. And Omaha's, I would say that I was impressed, but Omaha's just go whoop when you hit them. They're like a zit. Omaha's, well, any cruiser at that level, they just pop. But Omaha's and Marbleheads are especially squishy. Oh, I have. I usually reserve the rear turrets of justice for them. Thank you, Mighty. Appreciate it. I'm definitely gonna try. I appreciate you stopping by, my brother. And happy holidays as always. Don't mind the weirdness of what this looks like. This is kind of not sitting using my OBS right now. I'm using a web-based stream because I didn't feel like going to my desk. Absolutely. So there we go. I'm telling you, this is like working. See if this works. No, I thought I'd leave it like that. Pain in the ass. uh, like I've always said, dude, you don't have to prove anything to anybody. Just go out and play. Ah, Jason, you just take with a grain of salt. You see what I did there? Just take it with a grain of salt, that's all. Jason's still pissed at somebody when he was 5 years old. But his streamer name is definitely, his gamer tag is definitely spot on when it comes to how he is. Oh, I do. He's good people. He really is good people. He can be friggin' hilarious. And he's a good player, so. Fun hanging out with him, so, you know. Let's see. Let's find something else. That is really annoying. I don't think there's anybody out there. I don't think there's anybody out there that has not stolen kill some other people. Everybody's yoinked kills from other people. I've yoinked a few here and there too. Let's find out. Okay, you got to explain that to me. You definitely have to explain that one to me. Would you drop a bomb on yourself or torp yourself or something or what? Alright. I'm now intrigued. You torped yourself. Or he torped himself. never thought that would be a thing. Cut that out. I'm gonna have to play a character up myself. I'm gonna have to look at that. I want to actually see if this is really a thing. This is a wargaming bug. And see if you actually can do damage to your own carrier. That way, you can see if any damage happens when you actually smack your. I really do want to see if that's really a thing. Because if it is, that is hilarious. And the fact that Wargaming hasn't caught that. We will have to see. Let's test the theory. I'm almost willing to get up and go test it right now, just because I can. You know what? I think I am. Because, yes. Oops, sorry about that. All right. The things I do for science. The things I do. All right. All right.
what I'm going to do directly at this, we're going to see what happens. Wait a second.
You see that okay? All right. All right. Let's do one thing here. Quality control, so second, buddy. All right. I'm doing this for science. Plus, if this actually works, this is going to be funny as all hell. Okay, planes are taking off. Well, doesn't look like it did. All right, let's try this. No, I don't think it worked.
I sent a full rack of torp, and I bombed myself. I did. I did see. I mean, honestly, I wanted to see what, obviously wanted to see what was going on. I mean, honestly, it could have came down to maybe that you were siren, that maybe your secondaries were hitting them or like that. You hit them at the same exact time, and it looked like um, of course. I got nothing. Oh, go ahead. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just that I can't reproduce it. Just saying, scientific testing at its best. Or worse, whatever we want to. Yeah, it did. That's how it makes it even more hilarious. Fish tank. Okay. Right. 2 tanks. Alrighty, let's put this back here. Okay. Got the fan plug back in. And got that plugged in. And I got one more thing to plug in. Make things a little easier. All right, can you hear me? Can you hear me, buddy? Perfect. Let's make it hear me over the mic. All right. Wasser. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that tank I showed you, I can give you a better picture. What are you debating, buddy? I was going to say that tank, yeah, I just showed you, that's a 37 gallon. I've got 4 Mickey Mouse Platties, 7 Neon Tetras, 2 Ember Tetras, 2 Catfish, a Snail, 6 Harlequin Rasporas, and a Beta. Or Beta that's in there. They just finished battling an algae
tick in the thing. Took me about just about a week to get the algae out of it. Well, what you debating, buddy? Let me see if I can help. Well, obviously, think of it this way. You got to have criteria. What's your criteria? It's going to be somebody who you can trust to help run it while you're not there. That is true. So the one thing I would probably say is this. Once you get your clan up and running, get yourself established and everything else, and once you get everything set the way you want it, okay, you see, the best way to look at it is see who's the most active inside your clan, who's the most involved, who's reliable, stuff like that. And then once you've observed them from a little more of a point of time, then you can make the decision who you want as your second in command. I mean, your clan's going to be small enough to start that you really don't need that. But you want to be able to, you want to see over time who's going to be the ones that are going to be the most active and what have you. I mean, I'm flattered. But I'm only doing one thing, just doing the one thing. That's barely what I have enough time to really do. Because you have to look at it from where I'm coming from. It's like, okay, yes, I'm willing to do some stuff. Sometimes I'm not active enough really in other games and stuff like that, or don't have the real amount of time to do a lot of that stuff because obviously I have to work and I'm a parent, so. Oh. It's always something that I can maybe consider to do as an independent. No, that's fine, and I appreciate you. I appreciate it. Believe me, I've been part of plenty of clans. Especially back in the day when I was playing COD Modern Warfare 2. part of the PCN clan. I helped create it. Basically, it's called the Penicillin Clan. They're the disease and we're the cure. Well, that's good. But like I said, take your time, buddy. Get your clan established. Once you have a core of once you have a core of players, then you're able to really figure out who's going to be what and where and why and stuff like that. That'd be my advice. To actually do something like that, obviously networking is a good thing. The other stuff too is getting established. You also have a channel that you can use to advertise something like that. Use your media. Obviously, you have core people that you have people who watch you. So if you got people who watch you, use your channel to do the advertising. You don't have to go through someone else. You got it right up here, dude. Between, what you would like to do, and you have the platform to do it. No, I understand that. But you can wholesale advertise on your channel. I mean, there's no restriction on what you can do on there. That's your content. You know. That's how I would say I would do it. You don't have to, I mean, you could probably get some base ideas from some people, but only you know how you want this to look. And once you've done that, then you can recruit. And then have it set up the way you want it. That's and then you see you can no shame advertise because you've got a channel. 2 if you count Twitch. Right? Okay, you've got 3. As do I. with 56 followers on two of the three channels. I'll tell you, it's not worth Facebook, dude. I've already had issues on Facebook when it comes to their content, so yeah, I had a copyright issue with GTA 5, even though I wasn't playing any music. I may use Facebook for stuff like this, maybe some gaming stuff, but it's not going to be a go-to. My primary going to be Twitch and YouTube. That's funny, I got more followers on Twitch. That's a joke, dude, because, yeah. What, on Twitch? Funny thing is, Twitch is the easiest one to go to, other than TikTok. Wow. I mean, hell, the laptop I'm using is a Walmart special. Take the time, man. You'll get it. Ooh, I like this one. Oh, yikes. Good to have goals. It's always good to have goals. Oh, there it is. I'm actually checking out to see how my stream is looking. Yeah, probably. Oh, good, it works. Perfect. Thank you, Imperial, for hanging out. I know it's not the most exciting stream, but we're here chilling and whatever. I appreciate you stopping by. It's zero dark 100 here. 2 a.m. Well, you mentioned Jingles and Flambass, so you got to think Flambeau, and then you also have to look at a whole bunch of others. Yeah. Hey, Azuma, welcome to the I Can't Sleep stream. What are you up to, buddy? Did I see who was in your server? I've seen a lot of people in there. Who? Or shall I say whom? It's always good. Just got done watching Gallipoli. Well, that is it's a pretty decent. Which Gallipoli? There was a couple of movies that were done on that. As far as I know. And to answer your question, I'm just tired. I can't sleep. I'm congested. COVID. Fun shit. What do you think? Why is this? Oh, the mini series. Okay. All right. The failed invasion attempt. The failed invasion attempt spawned by the first Sea Lord of Winston Churchill. Really? What makes you say that? Killed a lot of Australians. That failed. That botched invasion killed a lot of Australians and New Zealanders, and French, and Englishmen. Oh. Actually, I didn't even get a chance to. I didn't get a chance to. Yes, he did. He had logistical issues. He had support issues. He had everything. Well, if you just give him some time, okay? That's the best advice I can give. And the other thing about Gallipoli too, Azuma, was like he could not have picked a worse place to try to conduct a large-scale invasion landing that they tried to do then. It also didn't help. He picked the position that he picked was extremely well defended by the Turks. Yep, you are correct. Yeah, Lord Kitchener did not. He had to pull his head out of his. He had to get his head out of his ass. What, in the Gallipoli, Wolf? See, to make it even more interesting is that Gallipoli actually colored a lot of strategies later on, which affected some stuff going into World War II, because a lot of countries did not want to go through those types of invasions again. The Japanese did stuff on smaller scales in a lot of the islands and stuff like that. Even though the U.S. developed doctrine for these type of developed doctrine for amphibious landings via the Marine Corps in the 20s and 30s, but the technology had to catch up to the stratagem due to the fact that they were still using longboats. They weren't using, obviously, they weren't using like Higgins boats or tracks or things, Amtraks, things of that nature. Plus, the whole idea of a bombardment had to come in. How do you soften up a position and stuff like that? If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure Zuma can correct me here, that the battleships and cruisers that accompanied the landing force to Gallipoli, I think they only shelled the area for what, less than an hour? If that. They figured it'd just be seeing the battleships and stuff like that would drive the Turks away. I could be wrong. But then you take a look at it from the point where, how the United States was conducting amphibious assaults. They were doing large-scale assaults. They were doing bombardments that lasted. They were doing bombardments that were lasting days. Hey, X-Flex. You can just read the description. It's can't sleep, so we're chatting. We're just chilling. That's all. It's just something we're chilling at. Exactly. Because there was also a lot of talk of why the Allies didn't try to do Well, yeah. My normal streams, I'm usually at my desk with my large computer, mic setup, capture card, everything else. This right here, I'm streaming off of. I'm just live streaming directly off a laptop using Restream. So just do a. Because I'm just chilling out. I'm not going to sit at my desk. And see, one of the larger repercussions from Gallipoli, Azuma, was also the fact that the Allies, had that been successful, the Allies could have used that particular tactic to get around the Germans in France and Belgium. But after the failure of Gallipoli, the Allies had zero confidence in being able to do something like that. Matter of fact, it was brought up multiple times to do it, but the British kept shooting it down, along with the French. It was even suggested by the AEF to try to do that, but tactics were shot down because of Gallipoli. What was more feared, the Bismarck or the Yamato? Well, historically, it would be the Bismarck. The Yamato was something that didn't pop, that the United States really didn't figure out until a little bit later into the war. And indirectly kind of colored the design of the Iowa class, but the Bismarck, as its place was when the ship was launched up till it sunk, caused more of a problem because the British weren't ready for that type of ship. The only thing that they had that really could overmatch that ship was their Queen Elizabeth class, which was from World War I, older tag. The Rodney and the Nelson, which carried 16-inch guns, and the Hood. Everything else that they were building was the only new modern ship that the British battleship the British Navy had at the time was the King George class. And they were only carrying 14-inch guns, which technically could not really do a lot of damage to Bismarck's armor scheme. In the context of the ship getting into the North Atlantic, that's what caused that type of panic, which I kind of think it overblew how good the ship actually was. Was it more modern than the British than the British capital ships? Absolutely. Would it have been the Bismarck and the Tirpitz being around the same time, where you had the North Carolina, like say in comparison to the United States, compared to the North Carolina class of the South Dakota class, would have caused the type of uproar with the United States had the roles been reversed and it wasn't the British? I don't think so, because we had ships that the North Carolina class not so much, but the South Dakota class was definitely a match and then some for the Bismarck, because they had the guns to overmatch the ship and hit it at range. Then you have to add in the other factors that the Bismarck didn't have, which was better fire control radar that was much better than the Bismarck, which knocked itself up the first time they fired their guns. But in the context of the time, the Bismarck caused the biggest stir. It was probably the biggest. It's that and her sister were the two biggest battleships built by a European power up until the Vanguard, and that even. Yeah, she was sent. The Alabama was sent. The Alabama was sent to join that type of to join that. If you actually think about it, the Tirpitz would have had no chance against the Iowa. Zero. The Tirpitz couldn't catch her, couldn't range her. It wouldn't have. It would have been a fair fight. Yeah, exactly. Because they weren't ready for it. They were still building the treaty. Though the German ships were only 15-inch guns, which is on par with a lot of what the British had. But their newest ships, their most modern ships were the King George class. Though they were very tough, they were built to take a beating, but they were undergunned, so to speak. Yeah, she was almost torpedoed by an American destroyer doing torpedo drills. We're bringing the President of the United States across the Atlantic for the Casablanca Treaty, the Casablanca talk. So, does that answer your question, is Exaflex? Well, to be fair, is also the thing. To be fair, Zuma, you have to think of it this way: have that ship the command. To be fair, had the Bismarck and the Prince Eugen actually got out in the Atlantic and doing commerce raiding, it would have been a disaster. And a lot of people say, well, why did they send the Hood? Well, the Hood was the largest ship in the British Navy at the time. She was the only ship in the British Navy that had the guns, the speed to chase down or hang with Bismarck. The only problem was that she was due for refit. They pulled her out. They pulled her before she was getting ready to go to dry dock. But they ended up sending her out. And actually, I believe it was the Prince of Wales. The Prince of Wales still had workers on the ship when they sent her out with the Hood to go to the Bismarck. The thing was, they didn't have anything because the British Navy at that time was very stretched thin, dealing with all the other stuff that was going on around them. But that's what they were down to. They were down to those two ships. They were the only two ships that were available that they could send after the Bismarck. Once that she was when she was spotted by, I believe it was HMS Suffolk and HMS Norfolk, the two cruisers that were Shawinigan and yeah, again, they had to go after the Bismarck. Rodney was supposed to, the Rodney was supposed to go. And the sad part is that the refit for the Hood was actually going to be fixing a lot of the problems that ship was having. He was going to get modern radar. They were going to raise her aft deck up a bit, so she would stop getting water over the freeboard. She was going to get new engines, updated armor, updated fire control. Yes. Yes, they did. Here was another interesting fact. If you took a look at all between the German ships, British ships, and stuff like that, the French ships, the Italian ships, none of them had the range, i.e., they didn't have the cruising range to do a lot of stuff. The British could not stay at sea for long periods of time, which you kind of figured that a first-class Navy like the British Navy would be able to do. They couldn't do that. The only Navy in the world probably, she was considered a damn ship. But there was an advantage to her initial ship design. The one thing that she was very, very good at is that she was an extremely stable firing platform. Because of her length and the way that her guns sat on it, there was a very, very stable platform. But I was going back to what I was saying. The only two navies that were out there at the time that had the ability for long cruising speeds, stay at sea for long periods of time, were, believe it or not, East Navy and the United Navy. Everyone else had short duration. Again, if we took the British out of the equation when we transplanted the U.S. Navy into this, the Bismarck could not have, at any point in time, gotten away from U.S. capital ships. Because the U.S. capital ships could stay at sea much longer. They have longer cruising ranges. Plus, they have the advantage of something that the Germans did not have. We invented and perfected at sea refueling. So our ships could stay at sea as long as they mechanically could, if we really wanted to. So I always say to the German fanboys out there, and even the British fanboys, some of them, even when it came into 1941, 1942, the U.S. Navy, with the newer ships that were coming out at the time, outclassed anything else that was coming out. And that is including the Japanese. Because the only two major capital ships, other than a couple of carriers that they built, were the Musashi and the Yamato. And they were technologically inferior to even the South Dakota class. The only difference is that the South Dakota class didn't have, I don't think, it could deal some punishment. But I don't think that she'd have to be a little closer for more effective fire which would make it easier for a ship like the Musashi or the Yamato to hit them, because they didn't, even though they didn't have the type of radar controlled fire control that the U.S. developed, especially later on in the war. I keep going back to the Iowa class, and a lot of people always sit there, oh, they never really said. Yeah, the thing is, had they engaged, and a lot of people would have agreed, that ship would have wrecked. That ship would have wrecked the Bismarck or the Tirpitz or that class. They would have wrecked the Musashi and the Yamato, because they were much more advanced. Better fire control, better speed. Granted, she didn't have big 18-inch guns, 18.1-inch guns that the Yamato had. But you can see your target, and they can't see you. There you go. And plus, you think about it too, the Iowas were also better equipped to handle what the Musashi and the Yamato could not. Yeah, you know, getting attacked by aircraft. Oh yeah, we matched up our best gun to our best artillery, which was the 16-inch gun, upgraded from 45 to 50 caliber. But when you paired that with more advanced radar, where we were able to get use that from range, and then add in the targeting computers that were fit into every single class of battleship from North Carolina on, and then also into some of the refit battleships like the West Virginia and stuff like that. The Japanese didn't have that. Neither did the Germans. And you have to remember that the Bismarck and the Tirpitz were the most modern battleships up to the Iowa class built in the world. But you also have to remember, though, that the Tirpitz and the Bismarck were built on an older plan, unlike the Iowa that was developed. And then the East Progressive class, from the North Carolina class to the South Dakota class to the Iowa class, was just progressive, this continuous and progressive advancement. But you do have to remember one thing in regards to complete theoretical. In all actuality, when the Iowa class was built, the only one of the two around was still the Tirpitz. So, to be fair, you would have to match it with the Tirpitz. Though the Tirpitz was a little newer, with some small differences over her sister ship. It could have happened. Exactly. That's why I said. That's why I'm saying you take a look at the. So if we look at a real live situation where the potential of the Yamato fighting an Iowa class would have had it happened would have been the Battle of Saragasso Strait. The Battle of Leyte Gulf, which I believe was it Saragasso Strait. It was San Bernardino. Yikes. The San Bernardino Strait. Sorry. The Saragasso was Jesse Ohlendorf's taking out the Japanese. So we go back and we look at this. Let's look at it from this point of view. Had Task Force 34 actually been formed? Little background. Task Force 34 would have been a task force formed by Admiral Halsey to guard San Bernardino Strait while the carriers were going off after Ozawa. The battle line would have been under the command of Admiral Lee, Rear Admiral Lee, in his flagship, the Washington. The ships that would have been on station would have been, ready for this? The Washington, the Alabama, the New Jersey, the Iowa, and I believe it would have been either the South Dakota or the Indiana. I can't remember. Massachusetts was there. I don't think she would have made it in time for the battle, but there's always a possibility she might have. Plus a whole bevy of cruisers and destroyers. Had that been formed, no worries, Wolfie. Had that been formed, you would have had the fight that everybody would be say that the Japanese fanboys said that the Americans wouldn't have won. Actually, a lot of people have done It was one of the two. I have to think it's got. I just can't remember which one of the Sodaks would have been in line there. But Massachusetts was nearby, and she would have been, had she got there, she would have been part of Task Force 34. But the core group would have picked at least 2 Iowa class into this fight. So a lot of historians and stuff like that have actually put in the parameters considering everything else, and the mass majority of them would show that the American battleships would have wrecked their Japanese counterparts. The Yamato would have taken a pounding. She would have been very tough to sink, but she would have been wrecked, because you have to remember that you had the Japanese battleships had varying styles, varying calibers of guns, varying armor schemes, and a lot of the ships, with the exception, even in the Nagato, which was probably one of the later ships that the Japanese built, still didn't have the ability. He was a DD guy. He was a DD man. Didn't have that. I didn't have the ability to take the pounding from 6-inch guns. Plus, again, you have to look at it that the Americans would have had better fire control. He was also an engineer. He was also the first person. He was the one that actually created the underway refueling. He actually brought diesels and put them into submarines. He has also helped design and launch the the Mami, which is one of the first diesel-powered tankers, which was actually used in World War One. Who served on cruisers and battleships, and did 2 tours in the Bureau of Navigation before going to Pearl Harbor. Is that good enough? So it would have gotten to the point that the other ships in the American battle line would have taken out a lot of... No, I said subs. He was a subman. He was a submariner. He was actually... If you really want to know how he was moved to subs, was after an incident out in the Philippines where he was in command of a destroyer. He ran it aground. They court-martialed him. They sent him back to the States, and then when they actually put him back to sea, he went to sea in submarines. He actually earned his dolphins and everything else, and he served in and out of them. But he actually transformed a lot. He actually the U.S. Navy from gasoline-driven engines to diesel engines. He actually went to Germany to actually learn the diesel technology. And a little side note, in case you really want to know, when they launched the Derflinger, which is the battle cruiser in World of Warships Legends, he was there. And actually, the Derflinger got stuck in the slipways and didn't launch for almost 2 months. But he was there for the initial attempt to launch. He does. But like I said, he was also one of the foremost. He was also one of the foremost diesel engine experts in the U.S. Navy for the time. Never served on destroyers, though. It was either subs, cruisers, or battleships. And the Mami, which was a tanker. Alvin King was very calculated in how he did a lot of stuff. He did salvage work. He was a submarine man. He was a pilot. He commanded both the Saratoga and the Lexington. He was also head of Scouting Force, the Pacific, i.e., scouting aircraft, seaplanes, things like that. He was the head of the Bureau of Aeronautics. He also served in multiple different commands, including the head of the Atlantic Fleet, until he became Cummage and CNO. There's Azuma. Welcome back, buddy. He also led 2 salvage operations for 2 subs that were sunk. One off of Provincetown and one in Long Island Sound. Wolfie's testing my historical knowledge right now. So, you know. Yeah, I have that book, Wolf. I have that book. It's an audio book. Probably find a regular copy at the at a library. It is a very interesting read because it covers 4 admirals: Admiral Leahy, Admiral King, Admiral Nimitz, and Admiral Halsey. Yeah, it's a pretty. What happened 99 years ago today? Yeah, I'm here. I said, what happened? Can you hear me at all? Eh? No, I was looking right here. I answered you when I saw that. When I saw the Zuma. So what happened 99 years ago today, Zuma? Oh. What is... Huh? What is wrong? I don't know what's happening. Everything seems to be working the way it's supposed to. Oh, let's see. Today's the 99th birthday of Royal Australian Navy sailor Teddy Sheehan was born. He was listed in 1941, and when he was 18, he was on board HMAS Armidale. When it sank, he manned a 20mm Oerlikon gun before being killed. He was posthumously awarded the Victoria Cross for Australia in 2020. Wow. By the way, Wolfie, that's not me, that's Restream. Am I serious? That's not me. Wow. That's cool. This is a question for Azuma. I know you may know this, Wolfie, so be quiet, you. All right. What is the only American ship that was named after an Australian ship that was sunk fighting with the U.S. Navy? To make it fair, it's just that the U.S. Navy named this ship, in honor of an Australian ship that was sunk fighting with the U.S. Navy. Very good. Bonus question. Where was the HMAS Canberra sunk? You are correct again, Zuma. too, buddy. The Battle of Salvo Island. Guadalcanal. Okay. Oh, let's see. That's kind of tough. Hey, okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. No, if you notice, I had a little bit of a problem. My stream went down. If I remember correctly, he enlisted in the Navy during World War II and was only 12 years old. He was caught and summarily discharged. That's about the extent of my knowledge. That is the extent of my knowledge. But anyway, well, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm a little tired. I'm starting to get tired, so hopefully I can get a couple of hours sleep before waking up with a massive headache. Thank you, COVID. Very much appreciate it. So I'd like to thank everybody who came in and hung out tonight. Wolfie, again, always good to have you. Zuma, Exaflex, all y'all come in. I very much appreciate it. All right, Azuma. So, as always, like to thank everybody for coming in here tonight. I'd like to thank everybody over on Twitch and on YouTube. So if you're on Twitch, make sure you turn around, hit that follow button, hit that notification button so you know when we'll be coming on and doing that type of thing. When you're on the YouTube side, if you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, smash it, beat it, molest it, do whatever you need to do. Make sure you help out this channel as much as you can. Put that notification button so you know when we're coming on, and always send those comments down below. It very much appreciates it. And since I'm not streaming to Facebook, we don't have to talk to them. So with that being said, okay. Right. So with that being said, I'd like to thank everybody for hanging out here in the I Can't Sleep Let's Chat version of the Chill Zone. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you're always having a good and healthy and happy holidays as we're getting ready to wind up for the new year. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Very much appreciate it. And peace out.